Thank you very much. I'm the penultimate presentation before the panel discussion. I'd just like to draw your attention to the fact that my role now is for future economy. It's a very unique role. My role is to, as it was mentioned, to conceptualize initiatives, future initiatives for which there's no data. So what we are trying to do in my team is to make sense of those trends that affect the real economy. If you ask many businessmen in Dubai or in many parts of the world, they don't really understand what blockchain means. If I'm a trader in Tierra, they get bombarded by all these headlines in Gulf News. The question they ask is, how does this impact us? So right now, my department is trying to develop a future readiness toolkit, a set of questions that would help them prepare and understand what the risk is, and to de-risk their business for the future. So what I'm going to share with you now is that in my presentation, my thought structure, what I'm going to talk to you about is the convergence between smart cities, entrepreneurship, and innovation. It seems like it's very intuitive that if you want to be a smart city, it must be entrepreneurial and must be innovative. But some cities may be smart, but they lack the innovative and entrepreneurial capabilities underpinning it. So in my I'm sorry. Sorry. My thought structure is to share with you characteristics of smart cities. We use a global ranking based on Frost and Sullivan, innovation in smart cities, entrepreneurship, and then the conclusion. Now, I'd like to use these two quotes. One is the most important predictor of economic growth is economic complexity, or the diversity of products that an urban economy produces. And this is something that I always like to compare between Dubai or Singapore and the UAE. Singapore has a population of 5 million, GDP is about 300 billion, UAE is 10 million, GDP is about 300 billion. It shows you that a small economy like Singapore, we have a punch above our weight where there's so much complexity, there's so much depth, there's so much skill sets in that country that we started 50 years ago, positioned ourselves to be a global from day one. The important point I wanted to make is that any economy, in order for it to be smart, to be entrepreneurial, to be innovative, it must have a range of skill sets, right? And there is a close convergence between entrepreneurship, education, and innovation in the development of a smart city. Actually, it's not so much about education, but it's higher education and R&D. So that's one of the favorite topics I'm passionate about. Now, if you look at the convergence, innovation, higher education, R&D, entrepreneurship, and smart cities, they form the global nodes that grind and reinforce one another. All types of technology innovation, collaboration involving key stakeholders, higher education, especially higher education that commercializes R&D, and it's something that I'm trying to push for UAE to intensify its efforts to commercialize research that we have in our universities, pioneering new future business investments, which is taking the risk to form businesses, as well as then become smart cities to attract more talent and more investors. The word global nodes is very important because global nodes conjures that in the whole part of the world, there are only certain global nodes that attract talent and R&D to further their growth. Now, some of the smart city concepts, I took it from Frost and Sullivan. We have governance, education, healthcare, smart buildings, smart mobility, infrastructure, smart technology, smart energy, smart citizens. These are like the 8 core pillars of a smart city. And for each, we mapped out smart city goals to smart city indicators, which are circulation of goods and people, quality of lived environment, expansion of knowledge economy, and technology production level, which are very important. And what are smart city goals? Creating long-term economic sustainability and positioning the city for the 21st century, high quality of citizens, including ultra-efficient delivery of city services, as well as safety and security. So what this ranking does is that they took a pool of 50 cities and they look at the maturity index, right, from the quantitative analysis of smart cities to the mid-level, and then finally distilled 15 cities which are highly mature, all right? Most of the cities have started their smart city initiative in the 1990s, so they have a long history, 1-2 decades. It was positioned on their innovative and R&D experience. So the top 30 cities, they are good in the following: circulation of goods, technology, lived environment, and knowledge. So for example, Vienna, Austria is within the top 30 cities. And then we reduce it to 15 top cities where they have governance maturity, investment model maturity, data maturity, IoT platform, as well as business model maturity. So based on this, we look at the top 15 cities. We have Amsterdam, Barcelona, Seoul, Vienna, Singapore, Stockholm, based on this maturity score. What then we did was we superimposed this with the innovation score. So there is a correlation between smart city and innovation, represented by the pink. And what I did further was I looked at smart cities and entrepreneurship based on entrepreneurship ranking. There's a 93% correlation between smart cities and entrepreneurship based on the entrepreneurship rankings. Then I look at smart cities, university linkages, because most top cities have good world-class universities, and this is taken from the QS World University Ranking 2018 Top 100. Right, there's a correlation between a smart city and a top university in that city. So 70% is the sort of like estimation. And I put it all together: smart cities, innovation, entrepreneurship, university linkages. 70% of the cities come up. So you have Amsterdam, which is good in all four dimensions: Singapore, Vienna, Seoul. And these cities have top R&D universities. They commercialize their research. They have highly innovative systems, and they're truly entrepreneurial. So again, this is just to show you that based on the global innovation rankings, we are ranked, UAE is ranked 35. And what are some of the indicators? For me personally, I love R&D, so it's R&D, innovation linkages, knowledge absorption, and knowledge diffusion are the keys towards innovative city development. And then if you look at global innovation clusters, we have Boston. Boston, if you know, 100 years ago was a textile city, but it transformed into a global biomedical global hub, highly driven by R&D. They have a venture capital of about 3.6 billion. You have Silicon Valley, everyone knows that, 110 billion. Tech City London, Paris, even Bangalore now has a venture capital of more than 300 million. And one of the key things these cities have is that they have a very liberal immigration policy. They have good weather, and they have strong IP protection. These are things that UAE is trying to work towards. Now, there are 2 points I'd like to say about smart cities, and that is citizen involvement. When we look at all our innovative projects in the city around the world, there's a lot of citizen engagement to help build that new product, and a very collaborative aspect between local governments, research institutes, universities. The collaboration is fine-tuned to an art. How do you tap the brains, collective brains of different actors that can then provide an initiative to a public good? So entrepreneurship is in cities, again, I took the ranking. UAE is ranked 26, just to give you a context. And some of the key aspects of the entrepreneurial rankings based on these 3 aspects: attitudes, abilities, aspirations. And of course, I'd like to highlight in blue my my passion is that how do you find out opportunities, what's the risk, the process, and product innovation, which is really about technology innovation. And for Smart Dubai, what we try to rank among these 8 things is that we have all the things, all the smart city applications within the 8 dimensions. So you have Sahil, the Makini, you have green buildings, you have Salama, which is about data, health data, and Shams Dubai, which is about the smart energy grid. Now, I'll just go through very fast all the different applications in different cities. Paris, you have the e-health incubation. Barcelona, you have Sustainable Map. The Owl Bus in Seoul. Innovate 80 in London for transport. You have the Wayfinder for handicapped people. You have Lumi Park, where lampposts are used to illuminate the streets in terms of smart lighting, parking monitoring. You have Parents Gateway. Again, this Parents Gateway in Singapore is developed by parents or co-developed by parents to track students' grades, monitor the students' performance, all in one portal, to pay the school fees, all online through this digital app. And then there's a project in Seoul called Diginomics, where data is driven. It's a data-driven economic development model. You have providing the labs, the networking, the engineers, the researchers, and incubators coming together to form this digital cluster. And then one of the top ICT clusters is Kista, which is in Stockholm. More than 10,000 companies doing R&D for the future, not just doing sales or distribution, but really R&D for the next generation of ICT products. And then innovative financing models. We have Super Public Innovation Lab in San Francisco that looks at funding the projects developed by the City of San Francisco, first of its kind innovation lab, bringing different people together, focused on tackling issues of the day in the city. So my conclusion is that to have a smart city, you need a few things. One, you need to have a vibrant market for innovation. The keyword is open innovation systems, crowdsourcing, test bedding, and commercialization. You need to have a close link with research institutes, early stage investors, and technology brokers. One of the key things I learned in my Singapore experience is that you may have all the technology, but you need a broker to actually translate this technology into viable commercial entities. Otherwise, it will just remain in the labs. You need someone to analyze how this technology can be broken into the market. Comprehensive financial legal frameworks, IT capital, government incentives, matching seed funds, recognition, mentorship. And how do we become global nodes? So smart cities need to prioritize and catalyze innovation, entrepreneurship, attracting innovation centers, supporting local startups, business-friendly environment, citizen well-being, securing a bright economic future, achieving that vision of quality and happiness, and then it reinforces the fact that smart cities aim to be global nodes of solving urban problems, challenges, and creating future opportunities. Smart cities should be the platform that pioneer the best practices to find novel ways to address key challenges, everyday challenges, and prepare us for the future. And with that, I end my presentation. Thank you.